2 weeks before my marriage, I found out that my best friend is the reason why my fiancé and me got together. I do not know what to do. I'm really confused and can't sleep. I need to have a talk about this or my head might explode. My wedding is in 2 weeks, and my best friend Lucy arranged my bachelorette party last Saturday in an Airbnb. I had a good time with my bridesmaids, took some shots, and they were super happy for me, marrying Erwin, my love of 3 years. After the party, everyone got really drunk and left, so it was just Lucy and me in the Airbnb. I wasn't too drunk, just a bit tipsy, so I helped her clean up since I was staying the night. While we were cleaning, she was unusually quiet. She had been so lively during the party, so I figured she was just tired. I told her I was okay with finishing up and she could go and get some rest. She agreed and went to the bedroom. As I was finishing the dishes, she came back to the kitchen. She said she needed to tell me something. I stopped what I was doing, and then she said she was sorry. She told me she didn't expect Erwin to propose because it was a bet gone wrong. I was confused and asked her to explain. What she basically said was that when I first introduced them to each other, she and Erwin had a bet. If he could get me to marry him, she would exclusively date him. They had been secretly dating before I met Erwin, but their relationship was toxic. They would often take breaks, and during one of those breaks, she let him date anyone. That's when Erwin and I met. When I asked her why she was only telling me this now, she said she felt guilty. She didn't want to hurt me, but she also didn't want to take all the blame. She claimed Erwin had a part in this too, and told me she had tried to talk Erwin into coming clean together. He refused, however, as he told her the bet was over because he really fell in love with me. Following her confession, I asked her if she still likes Erwin, and she said yes, as she now realizes how great of a guy he is. When I asked if Erwin knows about her feelings, she denied. She did ask me, however, if she could tell him how she feels. At that moment, I just walked away. I didn't have the energy, even though I really wanted to slap her. I feel so used, betrayed, and embarrassed. The two people closest to me turned me into a pawn in their messed-up games. I'm lost, don't know what to do, or where to begin. It's been 3 days, and I haven't told anyone, not my parents, not even Erwin. Lucy hasn't reached out, and I don't think she's said anything to Erwin yet. The wedding is in 2 weeks. How do I deal with this? Update. Hey everyone, I have an update for you all. When I wrote my story, I was pretty emotional. Maybe that's why I left out some important details. Allow me to share some of these details and tell you what has been going on the last couple of days. First of all, let me share a bit about how Erwin and I met. We crossed paths at a company event that my company hosted. We connected at the after party and exchanged numbers. Later, he added me on Facebook, and I noticed he and Lucy were mutual friends. I asked him about it, and he said they knew each other from their internship days but weren't close. I checked with Lucy, and she confirmed it, so I didn't think much of it. We started casually dating. No labels, just seeing where things would go. I was aware that he was seeing someone else during this time, and I was too. However, when we decided to make things official, we both ended our casual flings, and the rest is history. Now back to what happened yesterday. I picked him up from the airport and shared Lucy's revelations with him. His face turned pale, but he remained calm. He encouraged me to ask any questions I had, promising to answer truthfully. I decided to ask all my questions during the drive home in order to get my thinking straight. First of all, I asked him if he knew that Lucy was my best friend when we first met. He said no. They didn't discuss much about their personal lives during their time together. He was aware that Lucy had a best friend with the same name as mine, but when we met, he didn't really connect the dots. I also wanted to know how long they were dating before we met. He told me he didn't keep track because their relationship was on and off, but they were casually seeing each other for about 4 months before we crossed paths. In his perspective, they were never officially together as they didn't label their relationship. He attempted to pursue her, but her actions confused him, so when she permitted him to date during one of their breaks, he saw it as an opportunity to move on. On the question if they really did make the bet, he answered that he did, but that it was never something he seriously considered. He also assured me that the bet was all her idea, and he just went along. Then I asked him when the bet happened. He told me it happened days after I introduced him as a friend to Lucy. At that time, we were not exclusively dating, so he admitted that he was still seeing Lucy back then. Lucy had told him that if he won the bet, she would know that he was mature enough to date for real. I followed up with the question when their relationship had ended. He said that about a month before we decided to make our relationship official, he had already ended things with Lucy, as he started to develop feelings for me. Lucy handled the breakup well and didn't mention the bet again. As he told me she handled it well, I wondered why Lucy suddenly brought up the bet. He confessed that he had forgotten about the bet until she reminded him of it. She started mentioning it after we announced our engagement, and when Lucy approached him to confess, he declined because he didn't really think it was ever a serious bet. Finally, I wanted to know if he knew about Lucy's feelings for him, and he said he did not. He genuinely thought that Lucy was happy for us. Right now, I'm unsure about the next steps. While I believe him, I can't shake the idea of our relationship being founded on a bet, serious or not. I'm not sure if I can rebuild this trust, but I'm open to trying. Despite this issue, Erwin has been an amazing boyfriend, and I'm hesitant to make hasty decisions that I might regret later. What I'm certain of is that we must cancel the wedding. Erwin told me that he understands if I decide not to proceed with the wedding, but he's urging me to seriously consider our relationship because he loves me and is committed to doing whatever it takes to regain my trust. A few hours ago, I also discovered that Lucy attempted to contact Erwin a few days after the bachelorette party, but he missed her calls. She has still not put in an effort to reach out to me, and I've reached a point where I don't care anymore. I see this as a final attempt to have Erwin for herself, which makes it really painful that our 11 years of friendship have to come to an end in this way. I would like to thank everyone for listening to my story, as I will now take some time to reflect on my situation. I hope we will find clarity soon. Take care.